Happy Friday, Mayor Dan Pope with a weekly update for a week in July when things are supposed to be slow. This week certainly proves that to be wrong. Let me catch you up. First of all, council meeting earlier this week on Tuesday. We had three main topics that we talked about. First was the charter work that we've been working on, potential amendments, clean up to the charter. The council has decided for now not to put that on the ballot in November. We will talk about that again in our planning meeting this fall. Hopefully we'll get that to voters next year. Some of those cleanups I think really need to be done. And I think there's a couple of amendments to the charter that probably need to be considered also. We talked about, we got an update on the work around the Unified Development Code. That's the rewrite of all of our zoning and subdivision regulations. We're still on track to finish that by the end of this year. Finally, we had a very good discussion around the American Rescue Plan dollars. We have reached an agreement for 6 broad categories that those dollars will fall in. We've made no commitments to spending those dollars yet. As you know, there's still guidelines coming, more detailed guidelines coming from the federal government. But please pay attention. We will have a public meeting or listening session around this before we make funding decisions. I encourage you to go back and watch that part of the presentation from our council meeting on Tuesday. On Monday of next week, on the 2nd, we begin our budget workshops. We'll be doing those Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons. We start at 3:30, and we'll spend 10 or 12 hours next week digging into the budget for the 21-22 fiscal year, which in our case begins on October 1. We're excited about this effort. We find ourselves as a city in a very good spot. Our sales tax collections, which are the largest portion of our general fund, are up. Growth is fueling revenues that we can invest in our community. We can invest in first responders. We can invest in our employees. We can invest in the projects that are important to you. We can invest in maintaining the assets that we have. So we'll talk in detail about this next week. I think you'll be pleased. I don't want to get ahead of things, but I think you'll be pleased with what you'll see from our efforts next week. Let me talk a little bit about the Big 12. We're all frustrated by the behind the scenes, in the cloak of darkness kind of work going on at UT about leaving the Big 12. They've been our partner. The Big 12 is important to Texas Tech, and it's important to Lubbock. We've worked closely with the governor's office this week to ensure that Texas Tech has every opportunity to make certain that we have a bright future as it pertains to conference realignment. We need to keep talking about that. The Chamber of Commerce has been a good partner, and certainly our delegation led by Chairman Burrows and Senator Perry. The Texas Senate will be holding a hearing on Monday. Texas Tech will be there testifying at that hearing. Only 15% of us live west of I-35. One of the biggest and most important assets west of I-35 is the Texas Tech system. It's in Lubbock, it's in Amarillo, it's in El Paso, it's in San Angelo, it's in Wichita Falls, it's in Midland, Odessa, and Abilene. It's critical to educating our kids. It's critical as an economic engine for our communities. Our conference alignment is important to that, not just for athletics, for academics. All of you, I encourage you to talk to your representative, to reach out to the governor's office. Let's make certain that our voices are heard. 2 more topics. Vaccines. Please get vaccinated. The deaths that we've experienced in the last several weeks related to COVID are from citizens that have not been vaccinated. Nearly every one of the 70 people in our hospitals this morning are not vaccinated. Now, the vaccine is available, it's effective, and it's safe. Please please educate yourself and get vaccinated. Finally, early this week, I attended Mike Greer's funeral. Mike and his wife Marty were the founders of the Buffalo Springs Triathlon, which now is the Ironman Lubbock 70.3. Mike competed in over 400 triathlons. He died last week from injuries suffered actually in a motorcycle wreck the morning of our triathlon last month. Mike was a good friend, but his impact on our community is something I can't put in words. And I think the best thing I saw was last Saturday. The best thing I saw this week was last Saturday morning when many, actually hundreds of Mike's friends participated in a bicycle ride, sponsored in part by the Fitness Council, the Mayor's Fitness Council, just to honor Mike. Mike believed and lived a full life. He was a retired lieutenant colonel. He was a fantastic salesman, and he lived a robust life and always was pushing things. And we're thankful for him. And if you want to help honor him, remember him, you can do so by contributing to the Mike and Marty Greer Foundation. There's information available on the internet about that, or you can contact the mayor's office. I'm thankful for all of you. I'm thankful for what you do to make our community great. Lubbock is a great place to live, work, and play. Thanks for your good ideas, your words of support, and your prayers. I will talk to you next week.